But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait, Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what Jon did, guarantee we're going to get some tweets.
What I'm saying is that I think Tom is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best. If it's not, he's one of the best. But I just want to let you know that people, they tend to overreact and overrate someone very quickly, and they don't measure that.
The heavyweight division is finally in motion and Tom Aspinall is at the center of it all. While supporters are hesitant as to how large his next bout actually is, Tom is definitely pumped up. For him, this isn't merely another fight, it's momentum within a division that had grown stale for far too long. When questioned regarding the load on his shoulders, Tom remained calm and composed. He avoided not answering, rather stating loud and clear that he's prepared for whatever lies ahead when the octagon door is shut.
That's great because I fight really well under pressure. You know, there's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, you know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do, and I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths. So
that pressure was divided by Michael Bisping, who put in an added test to Tom's battle. According to Bisping, being a champion isn't Tom's sole burden. He also has to defeat Ciryl Gane as quick as Jon Jones defeated him. Only then, Bisping is convinced, will people fully let go of Jones' crushing victory over Gane.
But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait, Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what Jon did, guarantee we're going to get some tweets.
Ciryl Gane's trainer disagreed with Tom being able to handle pressure. He stated that Aspinall hasn't fought somebody of Gane's caliber yet. He doubted Tom's experience and stated that when it gets difficult, Gane would be the one remaining level-headed.
Yeah, I can tell that he's a smart guy and he have a good fight IQ. I expect very hard opposition. But again, what I'm saying is that I'm not sure that everything that people tend to list as strength, I'm not sure that that's strength. When you get to the title, you need a little bit more experience.
Aspinall is being hyped too much, his coach said. He feels the fans are hyping Tom to appear better than he actually is. He noted that Tom has now encountered the same kind of issues as Ciryl. He feels once the bout begins, the truth will be revealed. And if Tom is not prepared to take a tough 3 rounds, he will be in trouble.
What I'm saying is that I think Tom is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's one of the best. If it's not, he's one of the best. But I just want to let you know that people, they tend to overreact and overrate someone very quickly, and they don't measure that.
Tom responded respectfully. He stated there is no need for trash talk or personal vendettas. Tom prefers professionalism, keeping emotions aside and letting the fight decide everything. This wasn't a heated back and forth or a headline grab. Instead, Tom showed maturity, focusing on the work ahead rather than getting distracted.
My response to him is, with all due respect, I respect coaches so much, especially really high-level coaches. But with all due respect, like, his opinion is quite irrelevant to the situation. Like, I'm just telling the facts from what I know and my point of view. I'm not trying to get under anyone's skin or anything like that. Like, that's the reality that I lived. But irrelevant to what happened or didn't happen, like, that's in the past, and we're fighting each other now. We're fighting each other in October, so irrelevant to what anybody says, who's annoyed and who isn't annoyed, and whose feelings are hurt and whose feelings aren't hurt. We're going to fight each other and settle it regardless. So.
But not everyone is predicting fireworks. Chael Sonnen has gone public with a bold claim. He thinks Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane will flop. His reasoning isn't about either man's skills or the possibility of an upset. Instead, Ciryl believes the fight simply won't create enough hype to hook casual fans. For him, it's about the energy an event brings.
The UFC traditionally will use championship fights as a reward. You'll have done good deeds. You'll have packed that suitcase, you'll go and checked in, you'll have eaten dinner alone plenty of times in hotels, you'll sacrifice, you'll throw the punch and the kicks, have the punches and kicks just thrown back at you, and as a reward you will get that opportunity, but they've already given it to Ciryl. The biggest letdown in UFC title fight history in relation to what the projection, what the analytics thought they were going to do business-wise versus what they did. The number one flop in history was Ciryl versus Francis.
Ciryl didn't finish there. He outlined which potential bouts, whether Tom does win or lose, might be better for the business of the UFC. Marketability, in his opinion, is as important as matchmaking. Ciryl offered up alternative names and situations that he believes would make bigger noise, more headlines, and more revenue for the company.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. What happens after it? I liked the idea of Alex versus Tom right now. You want to know what another interesting fight is? Alex versus Ciryl. Alex is not going to beat Ankalaev, but we got Alex to light heavyweight in the first place by getting him beat. I believe Alex is in that spot right now. I'm bringing all of this to your attention because right now there's one thing for Jon Jones to do, and that is Tom Aspinall. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them, you've now created an opportunity for Alex versus Jon, and that does work. Jon versus Tom is the fight, but Alex versus Jon is the next fight.
Despite all his negative comments, Ciryl had one positive observation. The UFC doesn't appear to want to move on from Jon Jones. He stated, "It's clear Jones still looms large in the division, and until the firm makes a clean transition, his name will shadow nearly everything that occurs at heavyweight."
And I'll just give you a scenario. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them, you've now created an opportunity for Alex versus Jon, and that does work. Jon versus Tom is the fight, but Alex versus Jon is the next fight. It's just a massive question of, does the UFC want to turn the page from the Jon Jones chapter? And if they put Ciryl in there, the answer is no.
That theory took on serious weight when Jon Jones became officially added to the UFC's online drug testing pool. For most, that meant a return is imminent. Whether soon or down the road, Jones is far from finished. His mere presence keeps the division abuzz. A returning Jones would cause immediate headlines and potentially disrupt every contender's plans. For fighters at the top, it's another unpredictable factor that could completely change the next year of heavyweight matchups. Despite Jones' possible return, Tom Aspinall has admitted he's no longer interested in fighting him. This isn't about fear, it's about focus. Tom wants to carve his own path without constantly being tied to the Jon Jones storyline. He's looking to challenges that will propel him forward instead of ones that leave him mired in old discussions.
Now it's become Jon versus Tom would be the biggest fight ever at the White House, and even Dana has talked about it, that would be the wish list. Is that something that you even think about?
Do you want me to be honest?
Please.
It has spent 0 seconds in my mind. That's it. I'm not interested, mate. Not interested. And the world shouldn't be interested either, because what's the point? It's just false hope.
One of those possible opponents is Jailton Almeida. Tom has Almeida on his radar, particularly if he can win out his next fight. He believes their styles might mix together in a fireworks-like fashion. For Tom, this would be a new, thrilling bout that might challenge both men in different ways. It's not necessarily about belts, it's about staging fights that provide action and challenge him against hungry and dangerous fighters in their own respects.
There's no one else. Almeida came on the show. He's been trying to get it, but he's fighting Volkov, so he probably, if he wins, would be next.
I would imagine so. I think I like the way that they set that up.
Yeah.
It's like a winner versus winner type thing. I love that. That's cool. Because for someone like myself who's not had much direction for the last 12 months, we have a bit of direction and a place to go. So that's fantastic, man. Like, I love that. Let's get the heavyweight division moving again. Let's get it going. Let's get some excitement in the division. Let's get these guys active.
Tom has to come to Ciryl Gane's defense against being downplayed. He indicates they're closely matched in a lot of ways and that this bout might be closer than everyone is anticipating. He has a lot of respect for Gane's skill set and athleticism, and he doesn't see the fight being lopsided. It's a reminder to fans that heavyweights of this caliber can make one mistake extremely expensive. By being respectful to his rival, Tom also keeps the hype real, which makes the bout more interesting.
Ciryl tweeted that he thinks you should be careful what you wish for, and he'll see you in Paris. How do you think you match up against Ciryl?
I better be careful, apparently. Yeah. I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power, and I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight.
Daniel Cormier agrees with Tom's opinion, referring to the kind of trouble Ciryl Gane has caused Francis Ngannou. In that bout, Gane made Ngannou have to go dig deep, demonstrating that he can put elite fighters in bad places. DC thinks this indicates Gane is not an easy victory for anyone. His pace, agility, and technical ability can be maddening, even for the most menacing power punchers. For Cormier, though, this bout is not the mismatch some view it is, but as an honest test for both combatants.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Away from the cage, another headline is taking center stage. The UFC's streaming partnership with Paramount Plus. Dana White broke down in an interview how this benefit applies directly to fans. From greater accessibility to events to more premium content, the deal may alter the way individuals consume the sport. Dana referred to it as a huge victory for the fans, paving the way for more viewers without the restrictions of the past, making UFC events more welcoming to fans globally.
Got out there, started shopping around, and this is where we ended up, and I love it. I love where this is headed. I love the idea of being on Paramount Plus. When you think of these streaming services, live sports is so important because you have to tune in and watch it when it happens. And if you look at the moves they're making right now and the content that they just locked up South Park. Yet they have Yellowstone, Mobland, which is a big hit, Tulsa King, and the list goes on and on. So not only if you're a UFC fan, you get away from the pay-per-view model. Now you just pay, $12 or $13 a month, whatever it is, and you get all this other programming, plus all the UFC content.
Ariel Helwani was a huge supporter of the move, stating that it's a game changer for the common fan's wallet. He pointed out the way UFC is becoming increasingly cost-efficient and accessible. Ariel emphasized that when events are more convenient to view, the sport develops exponentially, maintaining casual fans for the long term. He believes this is a move in the right direction, one which could serve to establish an even greater bond between the UFC and its fan base, as well as bring the sport more into the mainstream.
UFC and the occasional boxing was the last, and UFC was the last consistent one. Every month, an extra $80 in addition to your ESPN Plus, this and that. Well, now, Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro said on CNBC this morning that for the basic package, which is $7.99, $8 essentially, the basic package, you get the UFC deal. Now, that's the package with ads. All right? For $12.99 without ads, you get the whole thing. No extra cost. Incredible, right?
Ariel also criticized the previous pay-per-view system, calling it money-sucking for fans. He thinks that having a subscription-based model keeps fans engaged with the sport more economically. With less of a financial barrier and fewer dollars, enthusiasts are able to remain interested without paying an arm and a leg. It could also grow the UFC more and keep audiences tuned in more steadily. By lessening the financial burden, Ariel believes the UFC is positioning itself for even larger international expansion in the coming years.
If you're an MMA fan, you're a UFC fan, you won't have to pay for pay-per-view anymore. Mark Shapiro, COO, president of TKO, said it himself. He told CNBC, pay-per-view is dead. He said it's an antiquated model. We're not in this business anymore. Now, the timing of this announcement is very interesting because in 5 days, they're going to be asking you to pay for a pay-per-view. UFC 319, a great pay-per-view. And then on October 4th, they're going to ask you to pay again for pay-per-view. And then on October 25th again. And then on November 16th again. And then on December 13th or whatever it is, again. There's still, to the best of my knowledge, that's 5 more pay-per-views. But
That's illegal.
yeah, that's right, Dana. You have to not stream. You have to buy the pay-per-views. But then in 2026, it's really freaking dead. It's really freaking dead.
The stakes are high within and beyond the cage, and if you're interested in every update, breakdown, and behind-the-scenes detail as it happens, click that subscribe button now because the story is only going to get bigger from here.